Back hollowing cut is considered to be for more advanced turners, but let's change that. Now, just before I show you the back hollowing technique, I want to give you an update on my last pre-order. So for all of you that purchased one of my signature tools in the July pre-order, Crown told me that all tools should be made roughly from 8 to 10 weeks. So by the end of the September, I should have all the tools in my possession. Also, I want to take opportunity to say thank you to all of you that purchased one of my tools for supporting my work and everything. It's sort of a record sale for me, the best one so far. I think it's 320 tools in total in a little less than 10 days. So extremely amount of work is ahead of me, but I'm looking forward to all those sharpening, shaping, and just getting the feedback from you once you get the tools. It means a lot to me. So once again, thank you to all of you, and thank you for supporting my work and everything. And I know there will be some questions if I'll do another pre-order this year, and I will, or at least that's the plan. But there is also a little bit of business side of things that has to change. One major thing will change from this point on for the future sales, and that is now from this point on my business is now in a tax or VAT system. So up to this point I was not obligated, since I was entry level business, let's say in Croatia, I was not obligated to charge VAT or taxes. So from this point on, as the business grows, I will have to do so. It will increase slightly in prices, but what I'm going to do is slightly reduce my income from each tool. So if that makes sense, so it won't be as much of the increase in price. Unfortunately, Croatia does have one of the biggest taxes in the world, basically. So it's 25%, which is absurd. You can imagine the prices on food and pretty much everything else here, and we don't have massive salaries. Now, I do look this from another point of view, that it's a good thing to have that kind of growth and everything. As I've talked as well to my accountant and to my wife as well, both of them agreed that there is no point in stopping the progress, stopping the growth just because of the sales or the taxes, let's say, or VAT if you're in Europe. So I will move on as I usually do. Now, as I've said, I do plan probably one more pre-order this year. Not sure if I'm going to be able to squeeze one in December, but it would be nice during the holiday season to have one as well. But I cannot promise anything. Again, all I could say is thank you to all of you for supporting my work, for supporting my family, my work, everything. All I could say is thank you. Again, I'll try to reduce the increase of the prices as much as I can, again, by reducing some of my income. Crown has its own prices for each tool that cannot change, obviously, so they have to make money as well from all these tools. I have to make some money as well, and the price should be reasonable, at least in my opinion. So I look forward to hear your opinion in the comments below. And now, without any further ado, let me show you back hollowing technique. Once again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for supporting my work, for watching my videos. I just want to tell you that I really appreciate that. Now, the tools I'll be using to show you the back hollowing technique. The first one, this is a spindle gouge, my regular spindle gouge. It has roughly 35-degree nose angle, or between 35 and 38. This is the top view. I like to have a wider curve at the nose here. It gives me slightly better shearing action rather than just a pointy edge. Now the other one, same steel, same flute, same spindle gouge basically, but different grind. So this one has between 45 and 50-degree nose angle. Actually, I can verify that real quick. So it's 47 degrees, and the top view, as you can see, pretty much the same as the other gouge. And for final smoothness on the inside, I like to use this asymmetric curved or French curve scraper. This one is 25 by 6 mil thick. This will be for the future one of my signature tools as well. Now, how you do back hollow cut and what you need to look out for. Really important thing to note, and that is this technique only applies when we're hollowing pure end grain like this. I do not use this technique on any other grain orientation. The point of this back hollowing cut is to hog out as much of the timber on the inside as fast as possible, and as you'll see in just a few minutes, this technique is really efficient and fast, especially in a production run. Now this is finished with beeswax, and I'll do pretty much the same on all of these 3 samples here. Now everything is about riding the bevel. Now the way I do back hollowing cut, I think there is another way that Richard does that as well as some others, but I find this to be really easy to understand. So I'll turn on the lathe. Now the blank isn't true that much, so I'll just lightly skim it. Doesn't have to be perfect. And I'll just clean up the end grain. Now I have a center. So a little white dot in the center, that's the center. And I want to have tool rest high enough so the tool itself, the point of the tool is directly at the center line. So that's keeping the tool nice and flat. I like to start going towards the center, like so. So I'm just moving my body to the right, leaning to the handle, and I'm getting in like so. Once you get bevel riding on the inside like this, so it's nice and steady, I just drop the end of the handle down and bring it up. Find the bevel and down, up. Like so. Usually it goes way faster, so like this. And clean up the opening. So now that's hollowed out this much, that's 35 mil roughly. So really nice fast way of getting the inside removed. And let's go to another blank, and let's do that slower and explain a little bit better. So again, I'll start by just chewing up the blank. Again, I have the tool rest at the center height, so the tool, once it's level, completely level with the handle, it's at the center like this. You find the center by going like hollowing a ball, let's say, towards the center, towards the middle, and now just drop the handle down. Show you that from a slightly broader view. So in the center, and just drop the handle down, up, down. I also do slight twist like so as I'm going towards the opening. You have to have a bevel contact, otherwise it will be a catch. Also, I'm slightly rubbing at the opening here to give me a little bit better control. Now I'll switch to this 47-degree spindle gouge. Again, this one is specifically made for this task. And I'm just going to color the bevel. I want to show you which part is rubbing. Hopefully the marker will rub off and you will be able to see where I'm actually rubbing with the bevel. So same procedure. So now hopefully you should be able to see where the marker is gone. That's where I'm rubbing the bevel. I think it's really nice and visibly clear. Now with this gouge, it gives me a lot of control, and I'm riding that bevel, I'm floating that bevel, whatever you want to call that approach or technique. I'm constantly riding the bevel, and I can get a half round on the inside, really nice and clean, straight from the spindle gouge. If I have this 35-degree and it has quite a long bevel, I would have to remove some of the heel as well. I cannot ride it as cleanly as that shorter bevel. It's okay, but it's not as perfect of a round over or a cove, whatever it's called, as with this one here, which has a shorter bevel, but also it gives me a lot of control over the shape, like so. Do that again. So hopefully it's visible where the flute is. I'll actually bring this out a little bit. Now you can also do this going to the left, like so. You can also hollow it out like that. That's another option. Perfectly viable, nothing wrong with either. It's just another technique that it's great to know. So let's do this again. Now I'm having this longer tool rest. The reason for it is I can drop down the handle a little bit further down, where on my robust tool rest, which you can see in the background, they have this area quite protruding, so I cannot drop the handle way down. So this VICMARK has slightly shallower slope here, so I can drop the handle a little bit further down. That gives me control here at the rim. So again, I want to show you from slightly broader view. So that was perfect back hollow cut all the way from the bottom to the rim. And let me show you the surface, but I'll do it one more time, slightly closer view. So you can see again where I'm doing all the cutting. So slightly to the left of the nose of the gouge. So just clean up the flute, and I'll do this one more time. Find the center. I have the flute facing, I would say, 2:30 o'clock, and now I have the bevel rubbing, and I just drop the handle down, slight rotation to the right with the wrist, and that's it. Stop the lathe. Now obviously if you do this faster, then you hollow it out faster. So you can see it's pretty good. Now the reason why I'm not getting the final finish, let's say straight from the gouge, is because I think I can get a lot better finish if I use a scraper. So again, just to show you a bit closer how this scraper looks, you can see a length of the bevel here, so it's around 40-50 degrees here at the nose, but as I go to the side it's more and more vertical or smaller bevel. So here it's basically maybe just 10-20 degrees tops, so it's not as grabby here on the side. Start from the center. You can see how I tilt down the scraper towards the center, very bottom. As I move away, I can drop the handle down, and now I'm basically shear scraping the side here. You can do that going downward as well. Like so. Usually on an end grain hollowing like this, I like to start with 120. It's faster sanding rather than starting with 180 and spend a little bit more time. I'm testing out new sandpaper. Well, it's not new, I've been testing it for a year now, little by little, but when the time comes, I'll explain more. And just apply a bit of wax. Now the rim I haven't sanded or anything. So that's practical use of back hollowing cut. You can see the inside is done. Now I only sanded up to 180 grit. So usually I would go to, on the boxes, probably 400 or 320, but that's perfect. So again, if I use 35-degree angle, I can be very aggressive with the hollowing. Just make it true. It does the job a little bit better if your fulcrum point when you're hollowing out, where I rub up against the rim, if it's not smooth or chewed up, it can bounce around with the gouge. So let me show you this in real time, how this would happen. Pinch my finger. So that was really nice and fast hollowing. So just open up the rim slightly. Like so. So now I can go again from the center and start dropping the handle down. And you can see where I end up, pretty much on top of the opening. A few more cuts. That's pretty good, but I can get it better. Again, this opening is pushing the limit where I can drop the handle down. So I'm basically hitting, at this point I'm hitting the tool rest bottom. But that should be okay. Slight bump in the center. Again, I have slightly better control with the scraper in terms of final shape, but it can be done with the gouge in slightly unconventional way, but that, as you can see, is really good surface. Again, I like to finesse it using scraper. For that, I like to raise the tool rest so I'm tilted down at the center. So show you this from broader view as well. So I drop the handle down, 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 down. Now I'm basically shear scraping at this point here, the rim. Going back down to the center. You always have to finish the bottom with the scraper tilted down. Nice final pass. I can do the rim here as well. Just take the sharp edge off and show you the final surface here. Again, that's really nice and smooth. Now you can see the inside of this lovely maple. So really nicely polished with the beeswax, a little bit of sanding as you can see, and it's finished. So I really don't know any more efficient way and faster way of getting the inside of end grain like this hollowed out, at least roughly. Usually I won't bother too much with that 47 degree. It doesn't have to be 47, it can be 45, 50, whatever you put on, but that kind of steeper angle gives you a little bit better a shorter bevel, but also gives you a lot more control in terms of it's a little bit easier to ride the bevel on the inside. As you saw, I started on the inside like so, and I ended up all the way here, where usually you see we turn around here in this area here. So it's all about those angles of approach. It's all about grain direction. So once you understand that fundamentals, then it's easy to break those rules in a smart way and efficient way. And again, I use usually, like I said, I won't bother too much with that other gouge. I usually have on the bench my 35 degree angle spindle gouge, and I would just hollow it out roughly, just getting the material removed, so I don't care about the finish. So it's quite rough, fast. It looks scary, but it's not once you understand what's happening. And hopefully with that 47 degree angle gouge, you saw where I actually rubbed the bevel. You still can see, you still should be able to see where the paint, where the marker is missing. So it's really nice and controlled way. You just have to ride the bevel. If you lose that bevel contact, then it's pretty much like any other technique, any other cut that we do either on cross grain or end grain. It will just bite you and can make a spiral and make a catch or anything like that. So hopefully this video explains it a little bit better than my other previous videos, and maybe it gives you a little bit confidence to try it out. Again, it's practice, don't get me wrong. You might not be able to get it from the first start, but at least now you know what's happening when you see kind of fast hollowing, but actually what it's happening when you do it a little bit slower. So once again, I just want to say thank you to all of you that support my work, that watches my videos. Thank you to all of you. Lately I wasn't able to to do much of the answering on the comment sections. Just so much work in the house for the renovation, and I'm just briefly going into the shop for just to film a video. And hopefully next week I'll finish the house on the inside, and I can get back to work in the shop. I have a lot of turnings to do for the customers, and also I can't wait for these tools to be made by Crown so I can start shaping and sharpening them again. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.